By the end of this video, you will understand the 4 things that you have to avoid in order for you to move towards riches and then keep the riches once you've got them. And in order for me to explain all of those, I'm going to get right into all the details. I need you to understand 2 concepts, 2 very important concepts that are the foundation of your future success. You have to be careful with diversification and instant gratification. Those 2 concepts, you know what their opposites are, right? Instant gratification, it's focus. If you could focus, which is the hardest thing for us humans to do because we love to get diversified, because diversification is kind of the variety of life, you know, like we get to try out a lot of different things and experience. Like, no, stop, okay? It's better for you to get rich and then experience the variety that life has to offer. Don't try out a bunch of stuff, okay? Because diversification is going to lead you in the wrong path, squander all your time and probably also all your money. So don't go in that direction. We need to learn to focus. And the rest of the video is going to be about that, okay? So the other aspect is instant gratification versus delayed gratification. Success only comes to those that have delayed gratification. You plant a seed and then you actually put in work, perseverance, water, sunshine, you know, hold on a second before it actually produces results. That means that you won't just start something and then stop. Start another thing and then stop again. Start another thing and then stop again. And you never get to reap the rewards of the seeds that you planted. If you stick into one thing, you only do this one thing, right? It goes very well with focus and diversification. And then you delay the gratification part. Oh my gosh, it's going to be freaking awesome. It's going to be amazing. But are you willing to dedicate 5 to 10 years to that one thing, right? And then don't take too long choosing that one thing. So those people that manage to choose the one thing that they're going to do and stick to that thing, oh my gosh, you're the one that's going to get rich. And that's how you know you're going to get rich, because you chose one thing, right? And you focused. And then you stuck with it. It's amazing how it works. Let's now explain the 4 things that you should avoid in order for you to overcome those 2 concepts of delayed gratification and diversification. And I'm going to start first with the hardest thing for men to conquer is their desire to be with women romantically, especially early on in your life. We're designed in such a way that we should start a family and start having kids and babies, and then we can multiply and replenish. Stop. Okay, don't do that. That's one of the worst things that you can do early on in your life, because babies literally they cost a lot of money. Okay, like we're not talking just a few thousands over the course of a year. We're talking about tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands on your way to, to them becoming 18 years old when they can take care of themselves. That's a long time to wait before you can actually start becoming truly successful, and you can't run away from it. Government's gonna get involved if you have issues, right? If you got issues with the woman, if you got issues with the children, if you got issues in general, like there's so much things, so many people are getting involved into your life when you begin dating women romantically. It's not just you and that woman, right? There's a lot of things that comes into play the moment she gets pregnant. And now I understand that there's a lot of single guys that manage to avoid the pregnancy trap, but you got to understand that a lot of men don't. A lot of men actually fall right into that trap. I know a lot of guys, like a lot of guys. Okay, now I talk to a lot of people as well, but man, it is insane how many people actually get stuck because of that one thing that they couldn't delay, right? Delayed gratification. They got diversified and they got involved with women because they had needs, right? Don't do that. So instead of even going on dates at all, just completely, utterly avoid it, okay? PBD, Patrick Bet David, he said that he avoided lovemaking, let's call it that, for 17 months until he actually became a millionaire. Now, obviously, he also has a religious background, so I'm sure that there was something to do with that as well. But what if you just applied that concept to yourself of actually putting in the work first, and then you can get involved as romantically, right? And then it's actually going to be so much better because the women at the top, right, are so much more beautiful, so much better, so much less issues and problems, and because they've been protected by their fathers if you actually know where to look when you get to that level. But guess what? You can actually hire coaches to help you to find the best women, etc., blah, 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 when it's time. But right now, it's a huge diversification, and make sure that you completely and utterly avoid it. And part of that is stimulants. Now, those are kind of two separate things, but I put it in the same party bubble, okay? Women and stimulants is just a no-go on your way to financial success. It drains you of cash, but it also puts you in a victim mindset where things happen to you instead of you actually taking action and making things happen, right? Stimulants are designed to make things happen to you instead of you causing you to have emotions towards where you want to go, right? It's in many ways, it's an escape. Do you want to escape? Because escaping causes you literally to go the opposite direction of confrontation. Escaping, confrontation, two different routes. If you're escaping, you are choosing to remain weak and to remain a victim. But if you're confronting things and confronting problems and beginning to solve them, you're now beginning to actually move in the right direction of responsibility, manhood, and doing what needs to get done in order for you to achieve your goals. If you are able to get rich doing stimulants and being involved with women, the money's not going to last very long. It's probably only because of the massive debt bubble that we're, currently in, that you are able to make money despite your issues. But the time will come that the issues, or the time will come when the debt bubble is no longer, when it pops, and suddenly all the people that had money suddenly won't have money anymore, won't have that many skills because they really just based it off of confidence and I can do things and whatever and I'm amazing, whatever, okay? Because it is very possible that the people that are involved with that stuff didn't really use their time wisely, and as a result, the people that did are going to eat up all of that market share. I'm just saying, okay? Worth thinking about. The party bubble, stay away from it, avoid it. The next thing that I want to mention to you about avoiding is climbing the corporate ladder. So I talk about the 80-hour work week on this channel. I talk about getting 2 or 3 jobs. I talk about, increasing your cash flow and all that stuff. But there's an issue with that. There's something called golden handcuffs, right? What is a golden handcuffs? It's basically that you get jobs and then you do a great job because you are an anomaly in the workforce. You are amazing work ethic, right, guy, and you do whatever you're told in a good way so that the company that you work for gets results, so that your boss actually looks good because of you, and so as a result, he wants you to continue working, and so he'll pay you more in order for you to increase in responsibility and decrease how much he has to put into the business, right? Or give him an opportunity to expand in other directions because you're really good at what you do. Golden handcuffs. You do not want to put yourself in a position of getting tons and tons of promotions. In fact, I would highly recommend never getting a promotion. Ever. Make it a thing. You know what happens when you avoid promotions? You have to succeed in your business. Because there's no other way for you to make more money than actually succeeding in your business that has nothing to do with your jobs. If you're in low-paid, difficult jobs, or maybe they're not difficult, hopefully they're easy to do, because that's what I also recommend, is like things that are kind of don't need a lot of brains for, yeah, those are the kind of jobs that you should have so that you can think about your business all day long instead of thinking about, I need to solve this problem for this person. Like, solve itty bitty problems, get paid just enough, right? In order for you to survive, to pay your expenses and your bills and all that stuff, so that when you are building your business on the side, things are happening fast. If you do get promoted, you're going to increase your lifestyle because you're increasing a little bit of money, right, in your salary, but you're going to decrease massively the amount of time that you've got to build your business. When you are increasing responsibility, you're going to increase in the time that they're trying to squeeze you, the energy that you put into the company, the problems that are going to appear as a result of you taking on responsibility. It's not going to be very good for your focusing on your business and for you to practice delayed gratification. Simply put, next thing is for you to make sure you don't start consuming. Don't start spending all of the money that you're making from your jobs. The job incomes that you worked hard to attain, don't squander it. Set it aside. You should have as small of expenses as possible. As men, we can actually do that. When we suddenly get women into our lives and we have stimulants into our lives, just kind of connecting those two aspects, those two things you should avoid, what actually happens is that your spending and expenses go up. If you remain by yourself, maybe even living together with some other guys that you never see because you're always out, working, or living at home and always out because you're working, this is the optimal situation to be in because your expenses are extremely low, your income is rather okay despite being low paid jobs because you're doing the 80-hour work week. You are stacking cash every single month, whether it's $1,000, $2,000 if you're in first world country, or if you could stack $3,000 a month, bro, holy crap. Do you know how fast you're proceeding towards wealth doing that? Very fast, because that money can now be, kept, invested, preferably into building your business, and it's going to take off because you've got the resources that it takes in order for you to build the business fast. Right? So understand that principle. Don't consume. Because if you do that, you're diversifying the energy that you accumulated, the resources you accumulated from working those jobs is energy, right? And if you're expending and using up that energy resource, you can't use it for other things. And so it's diversification, it's instant gratification, and you shouldn't be doing it. And the last thing that I'm going to mention, which I see so much of, it is intense how much I see it. And it's bad. It's so bad. It's the aspect of having multiple business models. Multiple business models is never going to make you rich. You've got to choose one. Alex Hormozi talks about the Matrix, the woman in the red dress, all the time. Because he keeps that as a memory in his brain of all of these other opportunities that are coming to me, and you get more and more and more as you proceed, throughout the success ladder and actually achieve more and more. You begin to be given opportunities, and it gets harder and harder to reject because they become better and better and better, right? And hotter and hotter and hotter from a woman in the red dress perspective. But you've got to start now to practice that principle of no other woman in the red dress. You're doing one thing and one thing only until you actually gain your freedom. Once you gain your freedom, you've broadened your horizon to the point now where you can choose a business that you're going to stick with for the next 10 years or 5 years, whatever it is. But right now, you just need one skill that you can monetize and then replace yourself when you've got too much work to do, get to 10K, and as a result, now you've broadened your horizon. Now you can choose whatever it is that you want your life to mean, or your next business opportunity that you will be doing for the next 5 to 10 years, and you will avoid all the other women in the red dresses, business models, women, stimulants, but also spending the money and also avoiding any and all high-paying jobs. If you just do that, you're going to get rich. It's math. It's an equation. And you've solved it. If you simply listen to the principles that I've shared with you in this video, I hope it made a lot of sense. Make sure you subscribe and like, and DM me if you've got any issues on all of these things. I can help you because I've helped hundreds of guys get through their issues when it comes to this stuff. At the end of the day, it's only instant gratification and diversification, and those are the two things that people have a high struggle with, right? Like, they have a lot of issues when it comes to those two things, and you might need help, okay? So that's what I'm here for. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one.